There's no question. No matter what column you're in on the ballot, you win this election. It's almost comical because they're playing games at a time where you don't even have to worry. It'd be nicer to be in column A, but it doesn't matter if you're in column B or C or wherever. It
really doesn't, Harry. It doesn't matter at all.
And then those
I'm at a place in my life and in my political career where it is what it is, and no matter what happens, I'm going to be okay. I thank and praise God every day. I thank him and give homage to the electorate who has seen fit to carry me this far, and I don't think they're going to leave me now.
I don't think so either in the morning. 41 minutes past the hour. Your phone calls the rest of the way at 609-407-1450. Welcome to the program. You're on the air.
Thank you, Harry. Harry, it's Gary Stein. I tuned you in online. I'm out in the boonies. That's the only way I could get you.
Well, that's excellent.
I wanted to discuss the Rebel and Poker Stars and some ideas I had. But what a treat to hear Mayor Langford on with you and to hear such a frank, well, from my point of view, such a frank discussion of the column and off the column, in the column, and to hear you guys discuss it that way, and then hear Whelan's name brought into the discussion because, you know, you might be aware I've got an issue myself. It's Crazy Gary again running for assembly, and Whelan wants nothing to do with me. but to hear Mayor Langford talk about it, and Harry, I don't know if you know this, in the last 2-3 weeks, I've been calling every state in the union to try to get a feel for the way their ballot is set up in those states, whether there's a column in those states. There is none. This is the only state in the entire country. Now, if Whelan doesn't want Langford running with him, and from what I heard of Mayor Langford, the guy is unbelievably articulate and self-confident, and there's no lack of intelligence there. But if there's some personal rivalry between those two, and Langford really would be the best choice for Atlantic City, but Whelan doesn't want him, then that gets into this whole point about this column being rotten, and it needs to be changed.
Well, here's the thing. Here's my belief, and I could be wrong about this, and Pat Darcy would probably, be able to say, oh, he's lying, he doesn't know. I don't think Pat Darcy wanted to do the dirty work. I think Darcy's a good man and wasn't really cut out for vicious politics. However, you look at who's in place now, and if Jim Whelan wants Langford off the line, they will make a move, but it will be at their own peril because their strongest ticket is with Langford. I mean, Atlantic City is going to deliver them such a massive, other than a presidential election year, the gubernatorial year. Now, this is going to be a little bit different because, with no disrespect, I think Senator Bono is a weak nominee. And I think she's going to be the Democratic nominee. But typically the gubernatorial election year is the second best election cycle for Democrats to run in Atlantic County. This is going to be slightly down from the norm, I think, because Chris Christie is going to have such a great victory in November. But having said that, you would want, if you're Whelan, you want Langford on that ballot with you because that's your ticket, and that drives that Atlantic City vote to your ballot. Now, if they just assume, these Atlantic City voters are just monolithic and they'll vote for us anyhow, we don't need Langford. If they get crazy about this, they're capable. They are right now testing the waters whether they can pull this thing off of putting Garrett in the regular Democratic column and kicking Langford off the line. That would be ridiculous for them to do, because Langford's going to win in June, whether he's in column A or column B or wherever they put him. It won't matter. He's going to win. Then they have him to deal with in November. So I think, and in Langford, knowing him, he might say, I don't want to be in your column in November. He'll have his own slate of people. And who knows, maybe he'll even have assembly candidates. I will tell you this. John Risley won one more 3-year term on the Freeholder Board because he just lucked out, and Brett Schundler happened to come along, and they kicked Risley off the line for Marzak, and Risley beat him. It was a very close election, but Risley beat him off the line because of Brett Schundler's strength. It's nothing to take away from Risley, who's a proven vote getter, But if Schundler is not in that column, then Marzak wins that election. I've always believed that. I can't prove it, but I believe it. So sometimes these folks with their Machiavellian, politics, they outsmart themselves. If I were them, I would want Langford on the ticket, on the team, and don't mess with the guy. That would be my best advice.
Because you're talking about that freeholder. I was a Republican. I think I voted for Brett Schundler, and I might have voted for the freeholder off. So I might have, without my even knowing it, knowing what I was doing, voted off count. Harry, I swear I'm so frustrated with what's going on. Whelan better beware, because there's got to be some way for me to file a federal, this is breaking news, a federal lawsuit about all this. If we are the one state out of 50 that sets itself up like this, and you could make the argument that there's corruption in New Jersey because these kingpins or these elected politicians know that there's no threat in a primary, and with gerrymandering that goes on in different districts, you could make the argument that once they're in for life, and that there's no need for them to really be doing the people's business all the time. 99%, they could be looking out for their self-interest, and that seems to be just what Whelan's doing if he's not running with Lorenzo Langford.
Well, okay, but that's right now, to be fair, though, they haven't kicked him off the line. It is speculation that I have been told. So I think at the end, Langford stays on the line. They would be crazy to try to pull this off. But guess what? If they think that by putting Garrett in column A, that they could beat Langford in the primary, and they think they have the support and the money behind this effort to try to pull this off, they'll do it. But it doesn't matter. It won't matter what they spend. Langford will have a respectable amount of money to do what he needs to do. Langford will not be beaten, whether he's in column A, whether he's in column B, C, D, E, F, G. He will not be beaten. And it's not going to be Garrett, with no disrespect. It's not going to be him. It's not going to be David Davidson. It's not going to happen this election year. And then, if they try this bold move, and they fail, I see Langford not wanting to be in their column. And then guess what? The electorate would take a look at that and say, wow, look at this. Our mayor is over here in this weird column. And what if George Tippett and the other two at-large councilmen, what if they go over with the mayor? And I suspect they will. Then you have your whole Atlantic City government off the line. And that could be the difference between winning an assembly seat, keeping the Senate seat. So it's going to be interesting. Gary, I owe you more time next time. I've got to run. We've got more calls to get in. It's 49 minutes past the hour. Welcome to Hurley in the Morning. You're on the air next.
Good. Okay.
The river flows, it flows to the sea. Wherever that river goes, that's where I want to be. Flow, river, flow, let your waters wash down. Take me from this road to some other town. All he wanted was to be free, and that's the way it turned out to be. Flow, river, flow, let your waters wash down. Take me from this road to some other town. Go, river, go, past the shaded tree. Flow, river, flow, flow to the sea. Flow, river, flow, flow. see.